Okay, you're good to go, Lec.
Thanks very much. Well, hello, and welcome to the campus of Avon High School in Avon, Indiana. For today's junior varsity football game between your Avon Orioles and the Ben Davis Giants. Last night in the varsity game, played at Ben Davis over on the west side of Indianapolis, the Orioles got one of the biggest regular season wins in school history, beating the Giants 41-17 in a game that at one point was 34-3. And now we're about to get a look into the future of these two stellar programs here in the junior varsity game. So Ben Davis has the ball first, taking off the kickoff, which they returned up to the 29. Sorry about the abrupt start to this broadcast. We did have a little bit of technical difficulties before the game, which we seem to have gotten ironed out. So now Ben Davis starts the game off with two receivers to the left, one to the right, one running back. Pitch back to the running back, and he takes it over to the left side looking for some room. He's got some room past the 35, 40, 45. We got a flag here, and if it's good, then it's going to be about a 16-yard gain there. That was Omarion Smith. He is a 5'7", 135-pound junior for the Giants. But let's see what the count is. So 9:41 to go here in the first quarter. It looks like that play is coming back. So anyway, hopefully we'll get a clean sweep of the Giants here on this Labor Day weekend. The freshman teams of these respective schools are playing over at Ben Davis right now. So now Smith there, I credit for 7 after, and now give it to him again. This time Avon's ready for him, and he's stuffed for a gain of just about 2 yards. So far in this game, two rushes for the Giants. So now handoff to Smith again, and he weaves his way around a couple of defenders. He gets the first down out to about the 41. So the Giants move the chains. So Smith looking pretty good, like a guy who, I'll tell you, last night in the varsity game, Ben Davis's leading rusher, Olajuwon Hassel, was injured late in the second half, so I'd imagine that Smith, if he has a good game today, then he's going to get a good look here. And now, complete pass there, but he went back to get some extra yards and ended up being tackled for a loss there. That was Devin Wiley there on the reception. Wow, that's a big loss there. So reception for -8 yards by Devin Riley. And now we got some movement at the line. And last night was a penalty-riddled game with over 20 penalties called between the two teams. So now it's going to be against Avon. So Ben Davis now gets gets back 5 of the 8 yards they lost on that first play. And now some more movement at the line and another flag. Wow. 2 flags there. So definitely, I don't know if this is the same crew that worked last night's varsity game, but nevertheless, very, very penalty-riddled weekend here between these two marquee programs in the Indianapolis area. Ben Davis at the western edge of the city itself, Avon, one of the most prominent suburbs. So now the Giants lose those 5 yards again. So 3 receivers to the left, one to the right. Smith, the running back. Now the quarterback throws deep down the right side, and he just had both hands on it. Great throw, dropped it. The intended receiver on that play was Cade Thompson. He's a freshman, 6 feet, 150. So that will bring up third and 17 for the Giants. So now, same formation. Snap. Quarterback drops back. He's pressured. He takes it himself. He's got some room. He might have something, and he slides at the Ben Davis 48, just about 3 yards short of the first. So quarterback Juwan Swanson gets about a 14-yard pickup there, so it'll be fourth and three, excuse me. That was Swanson's first keeper of the game. So now 2 receivers to the left, one to the right. Smith, the running back. Swanson in shotgun. Some movement at the line and another flag. Goodness gracious. It's going to be a false start against Avon, so the penalty will give the Giants. No, it's against the Giants, excuse me. I apologize for that. Got it backwards there. I'd make a terrible official. So now 4th and 8, and the Giants are going for it. Swanson fakes the handoff. He rolls to his left, and he's under pressure, gets rid of it, and the pass is broken up there by Timey and Wellington of the Orioles. So the Orioles will take over on downs in very good field position at the Ben Davis 43. Thanks to Rob Kendall for helping me set up the gear and, iron out those technical glitches so that we just, by the skin of our teeth, got the game started, got the broadcast started on time for the opening kickoff. And thanks to my son, Liam, who's joining me in the press box for the first time today. So now Avon lining up. We got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Their running back, I'll hold that thought there. So 2 receivers to each side now, 1 running back, quarterback in shotgun. And he throws deep down the left side, and it is overthrown. This Avon starting quarterback in this game is J.D. Sherrod, who played a little bit, and he finished out the varsity game last night. After Henry Hessen was taken out, Hessen got off to a rough start, throwing 2 interceptions early, but then redeemed himself, throwing 4 touchdowns and no interceptions the rest of the way. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. One running back. Handoff there, but Ben Davis is right on top of him. But he breaks a tackle, and he goes over to the left side of the field, finds some room, and gets close to a first down, a game of about 8. So that's Ethan Lathery, who also got a couple of carries late in the game last night for the Orioles, closing out their win over Ben Davis. So Lathery gets 7 on his first carry of the game. So a very good start to Avon's game. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lathery, the running back. Sherrod in shotgun. Sherrod gets it, hands it off to Lathery. He's through the middle. Gets the first down and more. Picks up about another 7 there. He's tripped up at the 26 or 27. Yeah, they gave him gain of 7. So Lathery 7 yards on each of his first 2 carries here this morning. We're coming at you on August 31st here on Labor Day weekend. Our first JV broadcast of the season. So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now a handoff there to Lathery, but they're right on top of him, and they stop him for a loss. He's going to be brought down for about 3 there. So Avon apparently went to the well one too many times. We have 5:15 to go here in the first quarter. We played 10-minute quarters here in JV ball. So that'll bring up 2nd and 13 for the Orioles. And now a handoff, no, fake handoff to Lathery, and Sherrod takes it himself, and he gets back up to, he gets about the 3 yards that Lathery lost. Sherrod on his first keeper of the game. They gave him credit for 2. So 4:07 to go now. 3rd and 11 for the Orioles. Ben Davis will do good to get out of this series without giving up any points after Avon took over an excellent field position at the Ben Davis 43. So now Sherrod under pressure, but he's got some room on the left side, and he's got the first down and more. He could go all the way inside the 10. 5, touchdown. So J.D. Sherrod dodges a sack and takes it all the way, 27 yards for the touchdown. So Avon opens the scoring with 3:47 to go here in the first quarter. This is week 2 of the season. And now attempting the extra point for so let's see who's attempting the extra point here. And the extra point, and it's no good off the right upright. Nevertheless, very good start to the game for Avon. They lead Ben Davis 6-0 here on AudioSportsOnline.com. My name is Lec Zorn. Pleased to have you with me. And I'll tell you, I had so much fun commentating Avon Ben Davis last night. I was glad to get a second helping of it this morning here. Great start to my Labor Day weekend. Don't really have any concrete plans yet. I'll probably, do a cookout or maybe take a short road trip or something. But just like I said in the varsity broadcast last night, it just doesn't feel like Labor Day without Jerry Lewis, But hopefully we'll all have a great, relaxing, renewing weekend here. So now, let's see, we've got Carson Holmer to kick off, trying to recover from that missed extra point. He does kick off. It is fielded at about the 8, so he has a good leg there up to the 15, 20, 25. Does some nice footwork there. He's got a hole up the middle, 45, 50, and he's brought down just past the 50 up to about the 47. So excellent return there by the Giants. That was Agelon Reese, who is a freshman, 5'8", 130 for the Giants. First time I ever remember Agelon as a first name. I know it's an employment agency. 3:38 to go, so now the Giants taking over. So now each team has already started a possession in the other's territory today. When Avon did that, they went on to score on that 27-yard keeper by Sherrod. Now let's see what Avon does. So now a handoff there, and that was Smith, but they're right on top of him, and he only gets about one. So they give him credit for one there. 4 for 13 so far in this game for Smith. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Swanson in shotgun. He's pursued. Now he's got some room over to the left side. He's going to get the first down and more past the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. And he's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Oh, my God. Duan Swanson, a 46-yard keeper. So each team scoring on a long keeper here in the first quarter in this game. And the Giants are an extra point away from taking the lead here at Avon. Oh, my God, what a spectacular run there. That was very impressive. So both these guys playing like they want to get on the varsity squad very soon. I'm sorry, that was Juwan, not Duan. Juwan Swanson. I apologize. That's the first time I've ever seen that name. It's actually Juan, except there's there's an apostrophe between the J and the U. So now Ben Davis going for the 2, and the quarterback takes it all the way himself. So, just like that, the Giants have an 8-6 lead. Only 2 plays into the ensuing drive after Avon struck first blood. That was Wiley who ran in the 2-point conversion on the direct snap. 2:54 to go, so it takes a mere. I'm trying to do the math in my head. 43 seconds for the Giants to answer. And I'll tell you, after the way they were manhandled for the second and third quarters last night, it's got to, make them feel good to get that, kind of big play. Because big plays was something that they lacked all of the game last night. So now the kickoff, it's a squib, fielded on a hop at about the 17, right over to the 25, and some good blocking there past the 30. So a decent return there by the Orioles as they trail for the first time in this game. 2:48 to go here in the first quarter. Coming at you live from Avon High School here in the west suburbs of Indianapolis. My name is Lec Zorn. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you in my audience and to be broadcasting Avon football. This is my 4th season of commentating the Avon JV and freshman games. And last night was my 4th Avon varsity game as a commentator. So it's great to be a part of the family here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Sherrod, hands off there. He's got some room over on the left. No, he fakes it, and he's got a wide open man, and he could go all the way. Oh my God, yes, he's going to go all the way. That's 68 yards for the touchdown there. He was open from here to Plainfield. That was Malik Agbosasa. I apologize if I mispronounced his name, but oh my God, what a wild and woolly start to this game. And consider that the last night the score at the end of one quarter was 3-0 Avon. So J.D. Sherrod, and let me get that was his first completion of the game, by the way. So remember that name. No, I'm sorry, that was Anthony Kennedy. I apologize. Presumably not the Supreme Court justice also. But now Sherrod fakes the handoff. He's trying to find a man open, and it is intercepted in the end zone. So both Avon conversions fail in this game so far. Nevertheless, they do have the lead 12-8 with 2:35 to go here in the first quarter. But I'm just overwhelmed, though. That was so now 3 scores in this game in the last minute 02, three touchdowns. Wow, I'm just amazed at how open Kennedy was. So Anthony Kennedy, 6'1", 152. A freshman. You'll be hearing a lot of that name over the next few weeks. A lot of these guys are playing today like they really want to be on the varsity team next week. Like they don't just want the slow climb up the ladder. So, already got a barn burner brewing here and a great, epilogue to last night's varsity game, which, like I said, one of the biggest regular season wins in Avon history. So now, kick is taken about the 12, brought up to the 15, 20, 25. He's got some room on the left side, 30, 35, and he's brought down. And I think they're going to get him for a horse collar tackle there, which I believe will give Ben Davis 15 free yards and give them the ball in Avon territory. But let's see. Oh, face mask. Okay, that's close. Nevertheless, Ben Davis will be, okay, they put it at the Ben Davis 45. It's nevertheless a very good field position for the Giants to start. And keep in mind, because Avon has failed on both of their conversions and Ben Davis got a successful 2 on theirs, any touchdown will give Ben Davis a minimum of a 2-point lead here. Well, I'll tell you, we've got a lot of schools that are part of the Audio Sports Online family, and, we're thankful for them all, but I especially love that Avon, I'll hold that thought, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now Swanson pressured, nearly sacked, but he gets rid of it, and it's tipped and nearly intercepted. So Swanson there. So 1 for 3 through the air today, although he does have that touchdown, that 46-yard touchdown rush. So now this time hands off there to Smith, and they're right on top of him. He might have weaved his way up for 3 there. So that will bring up 2nd and 3. Omarion Smith, 5 for 16 now here in the first quarter. So the Giants have the ball 2nd and 7 at their own 48 here. 147 and counting here in the first quarter. Your score, Ben Davis 12, Avon 8. So now Swanson now throws deep down the left side. He's got a man open, and he makes the catch, and 1 man to beat. And did he get it, or did he step out? They're saying he stepped out around the 11. Nevertheless, a gain of 41 yards there. So Swanson with his first long completion of the game. .127 to go. It's a 41-yard pickup there. So now 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. And now throws up in the middle, and it is incomplete. So that'll be first and 10, or second and 10, excuse me, at the 11 for the Giants. .124 to go here in the first quarter. Already been a wild and woolly game of huge plays and wild momentum swings. And now throws up, and this time it's just off. It was a little too low, perhaps. But it was, nevertheless, the receiver had both hands on it and just didn't get the grip. So it'll bring up 3rd and 11. So now, very big 3rd down for the Orioles offense. They're trying to preserve the lead here. They lead 12-8. Swanson takes it, throws into the end zone. I think it's going to be, it is overthrown, way overthrown. So after Ben Davis completes that 41-yard passing play, it gets down to the 11. Now all of a sudden, 3 incomplete passes later, it's 4th and 10 at the 11. So let's see what they do here. So now they're going for it. So Swanson almost sacked there, and they do get him for a sack. Yes. So great job by the Orioles rising to the occasion when they were, in danger of losing the lead again. Swanson gets a 4-yard loss there. So great job, rising to the occasion there by the Orioles defense. So Avon will take over with a 4-point lead, 1:11 to go in the first quarter. Take over at their 15. Your score, Avon 12, Ben Davis 8. So now Avon takes over. Sherrod, the quarterback. Lathery, the running back. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hands off to Lathery. And he's got nothing but a wall of giants in front of him, and he's brought down probably for a short loss. So they mark the ball now down at the 13, so -2 there for Lathery. He's 4 for 9 on the game. Second and 12 for the Orioles. 40 seconds and counting to go here in the first quarter. Avon looks like they might win, but it's not going to be as easy as last night's was. Now fakes the handoff, but Sherrod is brought down for a sack. So excellent start to the drive for the Giants defense. 2 plays, 2 tackles for loss. That one's going to be -4 there for Sherrod. That'll bring up a 3rd and 16. And that will be the end of the first quarter. So after 10 minutes of play here on Labor Day weekend at Avon, your score, Avon 12, Ben Davis 8. And I'll tell you, Ben Davis, last year they did go a disappointing 3-7 in the first year under new head coach Jason Simmons, who replaced the very accomplished Mike Kirshner, who had gone out, who had left to go to, I believe it's Mount Vernon. And, Jason Simmons took over after a couple of years at Noblesville. And, 3-7, in most conferences it's bad, but, in the MIC, he can be a good team and still go 3-7 because the competition is so fierce. At any given time you have 4 or 5 top 10 teams in the state in that conference. So, you get, a couple of bad breaks, and you can have a losing record and still be a great team in the MIC. And so, but, I'll tell you, the way that what really struck me last night about Ben Davis was just that they seemed to have so few offensive options. The only go-to guy they had in the entire first half was Olajuwon Hassel, and then he got injured near the end of the first half, and he had been moderately effective up to that point. And then in the second half, they did try some different guys, and they finally started to have some success there and scored a couple of late touchdowns. But certainly head coach Jason Simmons will be under pressure to get some wins soon there. And the thing is, when you're in the MIC, you don't have a lot of gimme wins, so they're going to have to get something big going. They're going to have to beat somebody good, but that makes you better and prepares you to win state championships when you play in a conference like that. And now just desperation pass there by Sherrod to get rid of it, and so that'll bring up apparently a punting situation, 4th and 16. The Orioles have the ball at their 9. Very pleasant weather today here in Avon. 64 degrees under a very cloudy sky. When I was driving here, I actually saw some lightning in the distance, but apparently it wasn't close enough to here to affect anything. So now punting from their own end zone. The Giants have a man back deep to receive at the Ben Davis 47. And, of course, these situations are, they're very dangerous when you're punting near the back of your end zone. And especially with a, high snap like that. And the punt is blocked. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. And it's recovered for a touchdown, so the Giants get the lead back. Reese Hardesty recovers the fumble on the first play of the quarter, or second play of the quarter, excuse me. That's why it's dangerous, Might have, been a good move if Avon just, gave up the safety there to kick from the 20. But nevertheless, they will get the ball back now with a chance to, and then they will take the lead, with any score. Yeah, I was nervous about it when I saw that he was punting near the back of the end zone. Those plays are notorious for blocks. And certainly, if you're a Ben Davis fan, and now I'll hold that thought till after the 2-point conversion. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And quarterback keeper Swanson, and he's got it. So Juwan Swanson has a successful touchdown rush today, now a successful 2-point conversion rush, and Ben Davis takes a 16-12 lead, so each team with 2 touchdowns. But the difference in the score, Ben Davis 2 successful 2-point conversions, and Avon 2 failed conversions. Wow, what a game so far. But if you're a Ben Davis fan, you got to be really encouraged by what you've seen today, because the Giants' offense had a severe lack of big plays last night in the varsity game. But now these JV guys are showing a lot of promise for the future of the program. They've run off several huge plays today, that being the latest of them. So looks like this is going to be a much more competitive game than last night's was. So, and it could turn out to be that, Avon, that Ben Davis just, is having a couple of off years, and they'll be back, as a state championship contender next year. And, certainly it's great to have this Avon-Ben Davis rivalry going, that they're, playing every year in the regular season now. And deep kick, it's fielded about the 6, right up to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and knocked out of bounds just shy of the 35. So solid return there by Larry Stone. He's a junior, 5'6", 145 for the Orioles. They mark him down at the 32. But remember, Avon, with any touchdown, will still take the lead early in the second quarter. So now let's see, we got two receivers out to the left for the Orioles. We have Kennedy, who got the touchdown earlier. And then one other, then we got a receiver to the right. And now we got handoff there to Larry Stone. And he had a nice kickoff return, but they're on his first rush of the game. He only gets about 2. They were right on top of him there. So Larry Stone gets 2 yards there. He got about 26 yards on the return. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stone, the running back. Sherrod, the quarterback. In shotgun, takes the snap. It's a high snap, but he gets it. Fakes the handoff to Stone, throws up the middle, and it is just through the arms of the intended receiver. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the 3rd and 8 for the Orioles. The intended receiver on that play was Anthony Kennedy, who had the 68-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter. 9:01 to go now. So last time Avon got itself into 4th and 16 at the 9, the result was a blocked punt recovered for an easy touchdown there by Ben Davis. So now Kennedy lines up once again to the left. Got another receiver to the right. 1 running back, Sherrod in shotgun. The snap. Drops back. He's under pressure. He rolls to his left, but he's brought down for a sack. So all of a sudden, Ben Davis really cranking up the defensive intensity here today. And that's going to be a loss of 6 yards there. Liam, we got some drinks there in the cooler if you want one.
I just wish it was all free.
It is, yeah. Go ahead. Take them. This for the media. I was just telling my son that there's some drinks there for the for us media folk. He just got himself a can of Pepsi. So now, here's a punt. He does get this one off. And it's fielded at about the 44, about to the 50, 45. And the returner was knocked out of bounds. So 8:03 to go here in the quarter. And now Ben Davis, if they get a touchdown here, they will have a 2-possession lead. And if they make any a touchdown and any conversion, it will be a 2-touchdown lead. So they start the drive at the 43. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now and now official timeout. Omarion Smith, who's had some nice moments today, is still the running back in the game for the Giants. Juwan Swanson, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now. Some movement at the line and a flag. And I'll tell you, we had gotten probably 6 or 7 minutes worth of action without a flag before that play. So 1st and 10 turns into 1st and 5 for the Giants here. Now a handoff to Smith. They're right on top of him, and they bring him down for a loss. And certainly the Orioles, in the position they're in, any tackle for loss is a good thing. So Smith loses a couple on that one. I have him now 6 for 14 in this game. Same formation. Swanson drops back to pass. And he had a man open, but he just threw it too low, so it's incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7. Although I would imagine that Ben Davis would probably go for it here. Swanson's only completed 1 pass in the game out of 7, but it was that 41-yarder. And now another flag. Man. This is, that's the one thing. I'd like to know if this is the same officiating crew we had last night for the varsity game. But nevertheless, now all of a sudden the Giants go from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2, so definitely we've got to watch the penalties, especially the movement at the line. That seems to be, our biggest Achilles heel right now. We got away with it last night. You can't get away with it every week. So now, back in motion, and Swanson throws deep, but it's way overthrown. Swanson only 1 for 8 through the air, but he did have a 46-yard keeper for a touchdown. So now, 4th and 2. And my son Liam was just commenting that he likes his Pepsi. So 7:22 to go here in the second quarter. Fourth and 2. It'd be great if we got a stop here and took over with a chance to get the lead back. And now a keeper by Swanson, and he's swarmed by 3 or 4 guys and brought down. He dodged a tackle for loss, but then moved up and then had some fancy footwork, but Avon was on top of him, and they brought him down around the line of scrimmage. So Avon takes over now at their own 35. A touchdown will put us in the lead, 7:17 to go in the second quarter. We trail 16-12. And now a handoff there. He's got some room over on the left side, but then, he brought down just for a gain of 1, though. So nice defensive awareness by Ben Davis. That's Blake Fincher, a freshman, 6'1", 165. His first carry of the game. Give him credit for 1 there. And now they give it to Fincher again. This time he gets about 3. Yeah, they mark him at the 39, so 2 carries, 4 yards for Fincher. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Orioles. 10:45 a.m., your time of day. I like these Saturday morning broadcasts. They're a lot of fun. And it's great to get a look into the future of these programs. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left now. So now he throws over on the right side, and he had it and he dropped it. Oh my God, what a heartbreaker. Wellington, the intended receiver, he had both hands on it, and it was a really soft pass too. Just didn't hang on to it. So that'll bring up 4th and 6, and it looks like the Orioles are going to punt. Sherrod has only completed 1 pass, but it went for 68 yards and a touchdown. And now, nice awareness there. Nice, good job covering the punt. as stopping any kind of significant run back there by Cade Thompson, a freshman for Ben Davis, 6 feet 150. So Ben Davis has the lead in the ball with 5:43 to go here in the second quarter. Nearly 3/8 of the way through this game. So 5:43 to go here in the second quarter. And now Smith, he was nearly brought down for a loss. Then he ran over to try to find some room on the right, and he didn't get any, and he's brought down for a loss. Oh, they're marking him. Oh, he didn't get it. He got in an even worse spot than I thought. So they're bringing him down for a 5-yard loss there. Second and 15 for Ben Davis. $5:10 to go here in the second quarter. And now, throw deep down the right side. He's got a man open, and he makes the catch, and he could go all the way. Yes. So Swanson with a 73-yard touchdown pass. Who got the reception? Caden Thompson there with a 73-yard touchdown reception, and the Giants now open up the first multiple possession lead of the game by either team. It's 22-12 with the conversion pending, and if you're, again, Ben Davis fans have to be ecstatic now seeing all the big plays today, after seeing a surprising lack of them last night in the varsity game. So it is a sign that, the Giants are going to be back as a perennial power very soon. The Giants going for 2 again. They went for 2 on after the first 2 touchdowns and made it both times. And now handoff there to a sweeping Robert Peters, and he gets it. So Ben Davis has converted all three of their 2-point conversion attempts today. So now Avon starting to show some concern here. They trail 24-12 here, 4:56 to go here in the second quarter. Still a lot of time, but now you start to wonder how much they're going to be able to slow down the Ben Davis offense, which has just been on fire here. And, the quarterback for Ben Davis, Swanson, he's only completed 2 passes, but he's 2 for 9. But the 2 passes, hold on. He's completed 3. One of them was for loss though. So now a squib kick fielded right around the 30, and it's downed immediately. So Avon, trying to get back in this game. Certainly, the Orioles had some great moments earlier, but have now gone cold. And it could be that the blocked punt for the touchdown there changed the momentum. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sherrod in shotgun. Hands off to Lathery. And, he plows his way up. A great second and third effort. Gets 3 or 4 yards, but let's see if it counts. And I know it's coming back. It's another penalty against the Orioles. 4:44 to go here in the second quarter. And, if Avon had gotten, a big win over Ben Davis today, then that would be a sign that maybe Avon, has really started to overtake Ben Davis in being a better program. But, Ben Davis certainly negating that theory today. After a couple of, bumps earlier in the game, they've just been on fire. And now Lathery nearly brought down for a loss, but he spins his way out of a tackle and actually turns positive yardage into it. Gets about 5 there. So Lathery gets 5 there, and one thing that's hurt Avon on their last couple of possessions is they, got in, third and long situations. So, trying to avoid that here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lathery, the running back. Sherrod in shotgun. He takes it, drops it back. And, he's got some room. He could, but now he indecisiveness, and he's knocked out of bounds for right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1. So that'll bring up a very critical 3rd down and 5 or 6 for the Orioles. And actually, they got him down for a loss of 2. So 4:30 to go here in the second quarter. Avon, a very big 3rd and 7 here. Low snap, and now he throws deep downfield. It's and it's overthrown. Not even close. Wellington, the intended receiver. So now it looks like the Orioles are going to punt with 4:11, and now the big question is, will they keep the Giants from getting any more points in this in this half? And I'll tell you, keep in mind that if Ben Davis does get a touchdown here, then it will be a 3-possession lead, and in a 40-minute JV game, that's very hard to overcome. Sherrod's only completion so far today was that 68-yard pass to the wide-open Kennedy for the touchdown. And the punt roll takes an Avon bounce and roll up to about the Ben Davis, the Ben Davis 40. They're marking it at the Ben Davis 42. So 4:02 to go here in the quarter, in the second quarter. Ben Davis with the ball in a 24-12 lead. The Orioles 2 touchdowns, 2 failed conversions. Ben Davis 3 touchdowns and 3 successful 2-point conversions. And last night, the real momentum changer was a special teams breakdown that resulted in a touchdown when a bad snap on a field goal attempt was returned by Joseph Sargent of Avon for a touchdown. And the Ben Davis never got back in the game after that. And then, maybe that blocked punt for a touchdown will be, what really set Ben Davis on the path to victory here. So now Swanson rolls to his right. He throws way downfield. He's got a man wide open, and he makes the catch, and he's got one man to beat, but he goes all the way for the touchdown. That was Peters there, and a 58-yard touchdown pass, and things starting to fall apart for Avon here. Wow. So the Giants going for 2 again. Two receivers to each side, one running back. Swanson in shotgun. High snap, and he gets it. And then finally he's tackled for So, nevertheless, 3 out of 4, is very good on 2-point conversions. And the Giants still have a 3-possession lead now, 30-12 your score. Their second touchdown in just 1 minute and 5 seconds. 3 touchdowns in this quarter, none for Avon after that great start by the Orioles when they scored 2 touchdowns a minute and 3 seconds apart there in the first quarter. So Avon's got to get something going here. Go into the locker room with some momentum. It's a squib kick again. And it's recovered and downed by the Orioles at the 26. So 3 receivers to the right, one to the left, one running back. Sherrod, high snap, but he gets it. Screen pass over to the left side, and it is over his head. The intended receiver there was Andrew Papa. Sherrod has only completed 1 of 6 passes in the game. Now a handoff there, and he's brought down for gain of about 4 yards there. That was Fincher there. Didn't give him quite as good a spot as I thought. Only a gain of 2. So now Sherrod, he keeper, he gets about 5 out of it, so it is going to be a gain of about 6 there. So 4th and 2. And I figured they would be going for it here, 4th and 2, in the kind of desperate situation they're in. But no, the punting unit is out on the field. Of course, there's always the chance it's going to be a fake. Got Cade Thompson back deep to receive for the Giants. And he has to go back to get it. He catches it just past the 30. And now it goes right now. It turns left up to the 40. A couple of dodges there and brought down to about the 45. So Ben Davis with a commanding 30-12 lead with 2:45 to go here in the second quarter. We're coming at you from Avon. Our first JV broadcast of the season. Well, we're an hour into the broadcast, and we still got 2:45 to play in the second quarter. These JV games usually move a lot faster. Now got a first down there, and he slid right after he got it. So there's a nice keeper there by Swanson. They give him credit for 13. And now let's see. So Marion Smith gets a gain of about 1 there. Bringing up second and about 9. And now we got, Smith is injured. Hopefully this is not serious. He's rolling around moving his arms and legs. Well, it was a very good and at times an excellent first quarter for Avon, but the second quarter has been all Ben Davis. Hopefully we will bounce back. He's being attended to there. And I always, I try never to sound morbid, but whenever I've seen, and now Smith is standing up. Omarion Smith, who's been the go-to rusher for Ben Davis in this game, he's walking off the field. He's groggy, but he is walking under his own power, which is always good to see, of course. So a very critical defensive stand now for and now we got him for a big sack. Yes. Boy, did we need that kind of play. And that's going to be a huge loss there for Swanson. Brought back about 10 yards. So that's an 8-yard loss there by Swanson. And now Swanson throws deep downfield again, and this one is intercepted. And I think he just, I understand wanting to go for the dagger, but that was, he threw the ball into great coverage. That was not a wise decision by Swanson, although he does look like he has a bright future with this program, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got some varsity action this season. Trent Gibson is the current starter for Ben Davis. He's a senior. And after a rough start last night, he did finish fairly strong. But I would imagine that, Coach Jason Simmons is going to want to give, some younger guys some varsity minutes this year to prepare for the future. And I'll tell you, 1:17 to go. Avon has 3 timeouts left. I think they really need to, really go out go all out to get a score. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 running back, Sherrod in shotgun. Low snap, but he gets the handoff over to Lathery, who takes it up. He gets about 2 or 3. So give Lathrie credit for 2. All right, 51 seconds to go. And I'd like to see Avon show a little more urgency because I think this is a very important drive for them. I think they really need to get something going here. Even if they don't get a score, at least move the ball well. And a handoff to Lathrie again. He's got some room over the left side. He's got the first down, more 30, and he's, he should have stayed in bounds. Yeah, he should have gotten out of bounds, excuse me. He stayed in bounds. The clock at least will stop to move the chains. That's the one good thing about it. Pickup of 21 yards for Lathrie. That is his longest of the game. 33 seconds and counting. We still have all 3 timeouts. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lathrie, the running back. Sherrod takes it, drops it back, and he's brought down for a sack. Oh, no. We're going to have to take the timeout here. Oh, no. Following our best offensive play of the quarter, and now it's a 5-yard setback there with Sherrod getting sacked. No, it was Ben Davis who called the timeout. Wow. Yeah, maybe the Giants, or maybe they want a chance to get the ball back to score here again, and really just go for the pile driver. So now, anyway, for those of you just joining us, your score here, Ben Davis 30, Avon 12. There are 18 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And Avon actually led 12-8 before an all-out collapse by the Orioles here in the second quarter have given the Giants a commanding 3-possession lead. So now the Orioles line up 3 receivers to the right. We have James. Hold on just a second. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ethan Lathrie, the running back. J.D. Sherrod in shotgun. 2nd and 15 now at the Avon 30. It's a low snap, but he gets it, and he throws up the middle. And, it's nearly caught. He had to get down very low to get it, and it bounced off his hands. And it was tipped high up in the air. Lucky it wasn't an interception. There is a flag. Let's see. We've had a couple of penalty-riddled games this weekend between these two schools. It is going to be against Ben Davis. Roughing the passer, okay. So 13 seconds left now. That will move the ball up to the so Avon now at the 37. Hopefully we'll get something going here. Sherrod. Fake standoff to Lathrie. He's got some room on the right side. He's past the 40, but he stays in bounds. And he's brought down about the 45. And the Orioles don't stop the clock. So a very painful second quarter comes to an end for your Avon Orioles. And they now head to the locker room to try to regroup. Your score at halftime here. Ben Davis 30, Avon 12. We'll be back with the first half recap after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They are conveniently located on 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372. That's 317-243-2372. And they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. That's reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954, providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of outstanding fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. Also, think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, school proms, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative from McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900, or visit their website at McNamaraFlorist.com. That's McNamaraFlorist.com. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com. Liston is spelled L-I-Z-T-O-N. Well, back here at Avon, we're getting ready to start, we're at halftime, of our debut JV broadcast of the year. And anyway, it's a game in which Avon got off to a red-hot start in the first quarter, but a series of breakdowns in the second quarter resulted in 3 Ben Davis touchdowns, and the Giants now have a 30-12 lead. So anyway, a quick scoring recap here. With 3:37 to go in the first quarter, Avon opened the scoring on a 27-yard touchdown rush by quarterback J.D. Sherrod. The conversion failed, making it 6-0. Then Ben Davis, on their ensuing possession, on the second play of their ensuing possession, answered with a keeper of their own, 46 yards by Juwan Swanson. Devin Riley scored a 2-point conversion, giving Ben Davis an 8-6 lead. However, Avon struck back just 20 seconds later on the first play of the ensuing drive on a 68-yard touchdown pass from Sherrod to Anthony Kennedy. The conversion again failed, making the score 12-8. However, the momentum changed early in the second quarter with 9:50 to go. Avon had the ball with a chance to take a multiple possession lead. However, a blocked punt was recovered in the end zone by Reese Hardesty for Ben Davis, and Swanson ran in the 2-point conversion, making the score 16-12. And then late in the second quarter, Ben Davis got 2 touchdowns on long passes that were just scored a minute and 5 seconds apart. Swanson first threw 73 yards to Cade Thompson. The 2-point conversion was good, making it 24-12. And then that was with 4:56 to go. Then with 3:51 to go, Swanson threw 58 yards to Adrian Peters. And this time the 2-point conversion failed. However, Ben Davis nevertheless, still maintains a 30-12 lead. So, obviously, a rough start to the game for the rough second quarter for the Orioles after a very good first quarter. And so, really what we need to do is just settle down, start doing the things that worked for us on offense in the first quarter. No mistakes, cut down on the penalties. It's been a very penalty-ridden game, as was the varsity game last night. Especially watch movement at the line. And then just try to get some stops and take away the big play. Ben Davis, you look at in this game, they don't have, a lot of, 6, 8, 10-yard gains. What's really killed Avon, you look at the Ben Davis touchdowns, there was the 46-yard rush by Swanson, and then his 2 touchdown passes of 73 and 58 yards. So if we take away the big play, that will go a long way toward helping us stay competitive. And then obviously, avoiding the special teams breakdown, which I said is, it would be ironic if that ended up being the momentum-changing play, which would be a reverse of last night when the game that I commentated there at Ben Davis, when Basically, Avon had a 17-3 lead. They looked like they were in fairly good control of the game, but Ben Davis started to move the ball fairly well in the second quarter. Got down to attempt a 20 with 4 seconds left. We're going for a 25-yard Zach Fox field goal attempt. Obviously, very makeable. He's hit from as long as 33 this season. However, the snap went awry and was recovered by Joseph Sargent, who ran it in all the way for the touchdown. And so all of a sudden, it looked. We went from what looked like it was going to be a 17-6 halftime lead for Avon, which would be solid but certainly not comfortable. And then all of a sudden, it's instead it's 24-3, and you know that Avon's almost got it won. So anyway, now the Orioles coming back here for the second half, trying to get back on track. And right now, let's take a look at what else happened among the Hendricks County teams last night. The other 5 of them were all in action, starting in Class 6A with the second-ranked Brownsburg Bulldogs. They took a very long road trip out of state, in fact, to play St. Xavier there in Cincinnati. Lost the game by a score of 37-16. Then our 2 number 13 ranked teams, Plainfield, ranked number 13 in Class 5A, played Tri-West, the number 13 ranked team in Class 3A. The Quakers got a solid 28-13 victory that you heard right here on audiosportsonline.com. In fact, both schools are audiosportsonline.com schools. And so Avon, now gets its first 2-0 start in 6 years, heading into Mid-State Conference play next week at Mooresville. I'm looking forward to commentating that one. While Tri-West drops to 1-1. And then Danville, following that very disappointing loss at Franklin in Week 1, nearly pulled off maybe what would have been the biggest upset in the state last night, losing only 27-20 in their home opener to Mooresville, the number 2 ranked team in Class 4A. And then finally in Class 2A, Cascade dropped to 0-2 with a 28-13 loss over in Marion County at Beech Grove. Keep in mind that Cascade is a 2A team and Beech Grove a 4A team, so the Cadets dropped to 0-2 on the season. So anyway, this time we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the second half and hopefully big Orioles comeback. Your score here at halftime at Avon, Ben Davis 30, Avon 12. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2373. That's 317-243-2372. 317-243-2372. That's 317-243-2372. And they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954, providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of outstanding fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral design for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. Also, think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, school proms, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative for McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. Or visit their website at McNamaraFlorist.com. That's McNamaraFlorist.com. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County, with one in Avon located at the Prestwick at the Crossing Shopping Plaza on U.S. Highway 36. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com, Liston spelled L-I-Z-T-O-N. And their phone number is 317-745-5183. That's 317-745-5183. Well, back here at Avon, we're just about to start the second half here with your Ben Davis Giants trying to get a little revenge for their loss in the varsity game last night. There on the west side of Indianapolis, Avon got one of the biggest regular season wins in school history, a 41-17 win that at one time was 34-3. However, Ben Davis, with a dominant second quarter, has a very solid 30-12 lead now over the Orioles as we start the second half. They play 10-minute quarters here in JV ball. Hardesty is kicking off for the Giants. He had that fumble recovery in the end zone for the touchdown that put Ben Davis in the lead so far for good. We'll see if it holds up that way. It's a squib kick, and the Orioles start the drive. Oh, there's a late hit. I can't believe that, well, maybe he was hit by his own man. Actually, I think he was. So I was going to say, if that was a Ben Davis player, that likely would have been a 15-yard penalty there. We've got about 100 fans here in the home bleachers cheering on Avon. Over in the Ben Davis side, we only have, it looks like, about 30 or so. Thought there would be a bigger crowd. Well, some people are heading over. It looks like they went over to the refreshment stand or the restroom during halftime and are headed back to the bleachers now. But probably, the below-average crowd, the result, I would say, of, people being out of town for Labor Day weekend. So now fakes the handoff by Sherrod. He throws up the middle. He's got it. Did he hang on to it? No, it was ruled an incomplete pass. He had his hands on it, and very close to long enough to be considered a reception, but it was ruled no. Fortunately for Avon, otherwise Ben Davis would have had a fumble recovery there. J.D. Sherrod, 1 for 8 through the air. His only reception was 68 yards for the touchdown to Anthony Kennedy. And we have an injury timeout. It's an Avon player with 9:54 to go here in the third quarter. And at that, I am going to take this opportunity to go get a drink from the cooler because my throat is very dry. Just bear with me for about 10 seconds. So to me and Wellington, the injured Oriole, now walking off the field on his own power, thankfully. So 2nd and 10 here, 9:54 to go in the third quarter. Ben Davis 30, Avon 12. Orioles trying to get something going, get back the magic they had in the first quarter when they had those 2 quick touchdowns. It's a snap. Oh, and it's a snap's gone awry, and and he falls on it. So that's going to be a huge loss. So everything just coming apart at the seams for the Orioles. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a 16-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 26. Oh, my God, this is terrible. Well, might as well just, go for broke on this one. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lathry still in there at running back, Sherrod in shotgun. Snap. Throws deep down the right side. He's got a man open. Oh, he just off his arms. Kennedy, who had the 68-yard touchdown earlier, was the intended receiver. He would have had the first down, too. As it is, it looks like the Orioles will punt again. An all too familiar sight in this game. So not a good way to start off the second half for the Orioles. And now nearly another blocked punt. And it And now it hits around the 44 and takes a little bit of a Ben Davis bounce down to at the Oriole 43. So Ben Davis now with a chance to go in for the kill here. So like I said at halftime, one of our keys to coming back in the second half, we've got to take away the big play. Again, Ben Davis's 3 offensive touchdowns coming from 46, 58, and 73 yards. And you take away those 3 plays, they really haven't moved the ball that well. They've just gotten the big plays. And then, of course, the blocked punt for the touchdown in the end zone. So now screen pass. Oh, and it looks like the intended receiver wasn't ready for it. It was intended for Wiley. So 8:47 to go here. Swanson only 4 for 12, but those 4 receptions have gone for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also has 1 interception. 8:49 to go. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Giants. It looks like they got Omarion Smith back in there at running back after he had that little injury there in the first half. And we got flags before the snap. Play whistle dead. 8:49 to go. So Avon gets a little bit of a break as the penalty goes against Ben Davis. That'll make it 2nd and 15 instead of 2nd and 10, giving our defense a little bit of a break. But like I said, the main thing, we've got to take away the big play. And now pass up the middle. And looked like he wasn't sure who he wanted to throw to. So 3rd and 15 now. So Avon just needs 1 stop here to get the ball back. 8:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Rough game for the Orioles, but, they still could get the ball with a good amount of time. So now fakes the handoff and dodges a sack. Throws downfield. He's got a man open, and he's makes the catch, and he goes all the way for the touchdown. Oh, no. So Swanson to Thompson, 53 yards for the touchdown, and that should do it. Oh, my God, this is terrible. Oh, no. .47 yards there, and right after I said we got to take away the big play. Thompson only 2 receptions in the game, but they've gone for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2-point conversion attempt. Throws it and incomplete. Well, one good thing about that, and this is a minor consolation, but that actually means that it's still only a 3-possession game. Avon could tie it with 3 touchdowns and 3 successful 2-point conversions. Had they scored that conversion, it would have been a 4-possession lead, which would be virtually insurmountable. And as it is, this is not too far away from it. So Swanson and Thompson connect for the 2nd time today for a touchdown. So, you got good days, you got bad days. Last night was, one of the great days in Avon football history, especially for the regular season. And now an onside kick, oh my God. And they were really going for the dagger. I admire them going for the really going in for the dagger like that. But Avon does recover and get it in good field position. But I'll tell you, what does it say? about Ben Davis, that and that they've squibbed their last few kickoffs too. So obviously they're confident enough in their defense that they're willing to give Avon good field position. The Orioles take over this drive at their own 42, 8:34 to go in the third quarter, trailing by 24 points. Avon, as Ben Davis has now rushed off 28 points in a row, starting with that blocked punt return for a touchdown. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Lathry, the running back, Sherrod in shotgun, takes it, rolls over to his right, dodges a sack, and now throws deep downfield. And it's caught, and he stays on his feet, dodges a couple of tackles, and he goes all the way for the touchdown. Oh, my God, that's the kind of play we need. Yes. Oh, my God. So now we come up with a big play of our own, and that brings some much-needed life out of these fans here on the home bleachers who have not had a lot to cheer about since the first quarter. Only the second completion of the game for Sherrod. Two-point conversion here. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now throws up in the middle, and no good. So Ben Davis does retain the 3-possession lead. Ben Davis does retain the 3-possession lead. Nevertheless, boy, did we ever need that. We needed that in the worst way. So Avon finally, and striking him back only 15 seconds after Ben Davis's last score, too. So a one-play drive, and, scoring that quickly, certainly is going to help us. So Avon showing a little bit of hope now after really about a quarter and a half of really just being shut out. Not just as far as not scoring any points, but just not getting much positive momentum going. So now the kickoff, and it's a squib, and now Avon's having trouble covering it. They finally down it at about the 21. So 8:19 to go here in the third quarter. Ben Davis takes over with a 36-18 lead, but things looking a lot brighter for Avon after that outstanding touchdown pass. And I'll tell you, when Willington made their reception, there was a guy on him. He shook it off, and you could tell that he really realized the urgency of the situation. We didn't just need a good gain; we needed a score, and he delivered. And now they're right over Omarion Smith on the handoff. They bring him down right around the line of scrimmage. In fact, actually for a short loss there. 7:55 to go and counting. Now we got to get a stop here and then get the ball back and keep on cutting into that lead. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Swanson, handoff there, and Smith takes it, and he gets it back up to about the original line of scrimmage. That'll be 3rd and 10, and now we got an official timeout here with 7:20 to go in the in the game. Or third quarter, excuse me. Avon won by 24 last night. Now Ben Davis leading by 18. So now, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Swanson, and he turns to his right. He's got a man open for the reception, but they said he stepped out. So he's going to be 3 yards short of the first. I would imagine that they would go for that they would punt here. They're marking it 4th and 2. And did he get it? Yes, he did. So Swanson on a keeper does get the first down. So a little bit of a disappointment there. That's only Swanson's second keeper of the game. The first one, 46 yards for a touchdown. So good job by the Giants. I give them all the credit in the world after that 3rd and 10. And now they give the ball to Smith again, and he's brought down for a gain of about 1. 5:54 to go. And I think what Ben Davis is trying to do now is just run off a lot of the clock. .5:29 to go here and counting in the third quarter. Ben Davis leading Avon 36-18. Giants have the ball 2nd and 9 at their own 35. And now a handoff there, and he's up for about 2 or 3 yards. That was Devin Wiley there who picks up. Give him credit for 4 there. So 3rd and 5, very critical 3rd down for the Orioles here. And now a screen pass, wide open, and he's got the reception and gets down immediately. So Simmons now with his 2nd reception on this possession. And now, Swanson's accuracy has gotten better as the game's progressed after a shaky start. So the 2nd first down on this drive for the Giants. And now, fake there, and who is that? He's gotten close to the first down, pushed out of bounds. Okay, that was Wiley again. They give him credit for 9. His 2nd carry on this possession. He's 2 for 14 now. 2nd and 1 now, 3:47 to go. Ben Davis now really doing a good job of starting to milk the clock so that, when Avon gets the ball back, they won't have much left to work with. And now at first down here. No, Is there a fumble? No, apparently not. Yeah, they said he was down. That carry, by the way, was Titus McCullough with his first carry of the game. Give him credit for 4. First and 10 at the 39 for the Giants. 3:05 to go. And there's a flag, the play whistle dead here. Against Ben Davis. Ben Davis has now consumed 5.5 minutes on this drive. The penalty backs it up 5 yards, 1st and 15. And now fakes the handoff. Screen pass complete over on the right side. He's got room, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 30. So that's another pickup of 9 there for the Giants. That was Rylan Richardson, Jr. for the Giants there on the reception. And now rush there, and on second effort he dives. I think he does just get the first. So Wiley, he does get the first down. So several new faces in the Ben Davis offense on this drive who've contributed well. Wiley, among them, three rushes for 15 yards, picking up the first down there. And I'll tell you, when you're up against a team with a good offense, the best thing to do is keep them off the field. And since Avon, got their offensive momentum back on that last possession, scoring on that touchdown with 8:21 to go, now Ben Davis has run off just under 7 minutes and counting. And now fake the handoff, screen pass over to the right, dodges around on the right side of the field to finally brought down after a pickup of about 8. So Wiley, after 3 rushes on this drive, now gets a reception as well. That one's going to be good for about 8 yards. Wiley's first reception in the first quarter went for -7. So I now have Swanson having completed half of his passes now after that rough start. And now breaks through and gets inside the 10. And that's now another newcomer for Ben Davis, Eric Smith. He picks up 14 on that one. So Ben Davis, all of a sudden, after not having a lot of answers on offense last night, finding a whole slew of guys who are contributing on this drive. So certainly very encouraging sign for Ben Davis fans. And I bet a lot of these guys are going to be playing for the Giants varsity team very soon, some possibly next Friday, especially if it turns out that their leading rusher on the season, Elijah Smith, is going to miss some games. .30 seconds to go now, so wow. Ben Davis Ben Davis has run off, nearly 8 minutes, 7:51 to be exact, since Avon's touchdown. So great job by the Giants to take away any momentum that Avon, built with that spectacular, touchdown there from Sherrod to Wellington. So now 2 receivers to each side. Eric Smith, the running back now. And now throw into the end zone. Touchdown. So that one coming from 8 yards out. And Agbosasa is in there on the reception. Malik Agbosasa there with an 8-yard touchdown reception. The 4th touchdown pass of the game by Swanson. And once again, the 2-point conversion fails. And, making this win even more impressive, and this performance by quarterback Juwan Swanson even more impressive, for Ben Davis, is that he's completed 10 passes to 7 different receivers. So certainly, he's got a good arsenal to build around. So a lot of Giants getting in on the action today. And once again, it's a 42-18 lead. And that drive, by the way, consumed 8 minutes and 11 seconds. So now Avon trying to return a squib kick, and they get it down to about the Ben Davis 40. 1 second left, so the Orioles will have one play here in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter to try to, make the comeback, or more probably just try to finish the game on a positive note. After Ben Davis got their momentum going in the second quarter, they just, their offense just has been very hard to stop. And, they've converted at least 2 fourth downs in this game as well. Avon just, hasn't done a good enough job getting the Giants off the field. And the score, actually, it's ironic, we won the varsity last night by 24. Now we're losing the JV by 24. With an almost identical score, it was 41-17 last night, 42-18 now. So now, last play of the third quarter coming up. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff there, and he's going to get about 4 or 5. That was Fincher there. So your Avon Orioles down to their last 10 minutes. They trail Ben Davis 42-18 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street. That's 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372, and they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. That's reynoldsbodyshop.com. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to start the fourth quarter with your Avon Orioles, unfortunately, getting a dose of their own medicine. Last night, they beat Ben Davis in the varsity game by 24. Now they're losing the junior varsity game by 24. 42-18 is your score. We start the fourth quarter. Avon second and 5 at their own 45. And a high snap, and they're all over Sherrod, and he's brought down for a loss of about 6. more than negating the decent gain that Finch got to close out the third quarter, so that'll bring up another dreaded 3rd and long, something that's haunted us for most of this game. It's 9:30 to go and counting here. This is game 2 of 9 in the regular season. And now he goes deep. He's got a man open, and he almost had it, but he got hit and dropped it. The intended receiver there was Andrew Papa. Nice effort there, but that brings up 4th and 11, however. Sherrod has only completed 2 of 11 passes all day, but the 2 receptions did go for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it looks like Avon's going to punt. I wouldn't blame them if they went for it here. A bad snap. He has a hard time getting it, and he just takes the sack. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's terrible. Oh, no. That just sums up the way things have just gone all day. Homer Sachs taking a 10-yard loss there. Well, now Ben Davis, let's see if they... Well, the clock is already, maybe we're going for a running clock now just to get this game over with. We'll see. Yeah, and my son just noticed that they're still showing the quarters being on the 3rd. It's actually the 4th. So now we got a new quarterback in here for Ben Davis. A handoff there to... let's see. Yeah, it's Titus McCullough. He played on the last drive a little bit. And they give him a little bit better spot than I thought. He actually got a yard out of it. So 2nd and 9 for the Giants, 8:07 to go. 2 receivers to each side now. McCullough, the running back.
Ben Davis High School is winning.
Now fakes the handoff. Screen pass to the other side. It's complete. He's inside the 20, inside the 15, and finally tripped up around the 12. That was Rylan Richardson with his 2nd reception of the game. Give him credit for 16 on that one. So 7:21 to go. Ben Davis looks like they're going to try to get at least one more score here in this game. Juwan Swanson, an outstanding end. Now the play's whistled dead. Haven't had as many penalties in the second half as we had in the first, but we've still had a whole slew in this game. Last night was my 84th varsity game as a commentator, and I think it I don't keep track of this, but it probably set the record for most penalties of any game I've ever commentated. And, this probably sets the record for most penalties in a JV game, and I have a hunch we're probably dealing with the same crew we had last night. I don't know for sure, but anyway, it wouldn't surprise me, though. And a lot of the penalties have been, movement at the line. So 1st and 15 at the 17 for the Giants. So we got surprise, another penalty. false start against Ben Davis, so the Giants back now back first and 20, first and 20 at the 22. But yeah, game got off to a great start and then just came apart starting in the second quarter for Avon. But they'll be back. And, of course, the varsity team ranked third in the state, very possibly going to move up at least one notch, next week. So McCullough picks up 2 on that one. .5:55 to go in the game. 42-18 your score. Now a handoff again. And he's found a hole up in the middle. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, and he goes all the way for the touchdown. It's Devon Wiley there, putting an exclamation mark on a sensational win. Certainly something to cheer Giants fans up after what happened last night on their home territory. 20-yard rush up there. Wiley rushed very well in this game, 4 for 35. And now a touchdown. The first scoring here of the fourth quarter. And now, and the 2-point conversion is good there. Appropriately by Wiley. So your score now, Avon, Ben Davis leading Avon 50-18 here with 5:34 to go. Well, when you're a fan of a team, you have your ups and downs, and sometimes they're in close proximity. And, I remember, and I know that, losing a JV game, certainly not as bad as losing a varsity game, but, just to get to the way that this game has gone from early in the second quarter on has certainly been a big disappointment. But, hold this thought here. And now we've got Hardesty on the kick. Avon, Ben Davis closing in on a huge victory today. Now ball fielded about the 13, brought to the 20, 25, almost up to the 30. I think they're going to mark him at the 29, 5:29 to go. .5:29 to go. And now a handoff there. Goes up 35. Up to the 40. So nice gain there. Let's see. That was Anthony Kennedy, who had a touchdown early who had ball back in the first quarter. They give him credit for an even 10 yards and a first down there here on his first rush of the game. So yeah, I just I'd like to see just some positive plays here the last 5:20 of this game heading into the holiday. And now handoff to Lathery, but they're right on top of him, and he's nearly brought down for a loss. And he finally, on second and third effort, plows his way up for a short gain, and maybe 1 or 2. 5:08 to go now. Ben Davis 50, Avon 18. Avon once led 12-8 before a blocked punt recovered for a touchdown changed the momentum. So 2nd and 9 for the Orioles, 4:45 to go here in the game. So now a nice keeper there, and we got a first down there. So Sherrod with his best keeper since, that touchdown he had in the first quarter. You give him credit for 12 on that one. So Avon now with the ball in Ben Davis territory, 1st and 10 at the 47. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back. Sherrod in shotgun. Takes it, drops back, throws up the middle. He's got a man open. He's got the reception there. He breaks a tackle, and he could go all the way. 1 man to beat. Yes, touchdown. So great play there. Certainly nice way to get a little bit of momentum and finish this game on a positive note. 47 yards there from Sherrod to Papa. 50-24 your score with the conversion pending now. And keep in mind, this is only the 3rd possession that Avon has had in this game. They scored very early in the 3rd quarter and then didn't get the ball back until, Avon consumed, Ben Davis consumed on the ensuing drive, I think 8-11. So Avon, and now a 2-point conversion is incomplete. Nevertheless, it was an exciting play. It got, got a good reaction out of these fans here. So, and also is it done in good time, only 1:19 on that drive. That was Papa's first reception, by the way. Andrew Papa is a sophomore, 5'8", 140. And interestingly, Sherrod has only completed 3 passes all game, but they went for touchdowns of 58, 68, and 47 yards. Very odd statistic there. And no interceptions. You just, it's the 9 incompletions that, and now an onside kick, but it goes too far. And it bounces off the hands of a Giant, but another one is right on top of it. So nice awareness there by that guy. Could not tell who it was. So second half, actually has gone fairly well for Avon when they've been on the field. The problem is they've barely been on the field. 2 of their 3 possessions, they did score touchdowns, and, both drives less than 2 minutes. So now 2 receivers to each side for the Giants, 1 running back. Swanson has, as overall an excellent game. And now he gives it to McCullough again, who's up for 1 or 2. 4:03 to go and counting. 12:07 here. Usually JV games don't go much over 2 hours, but this is with all the scoring, all the incomplete passes. This one has been a long one. McCullough gets credit for one on that play. It's bringing up 2nd and 9. It's 3:41 to go. I'd imagine Ben Davis will try to run out a lot of the rest of the clock here on this drive, if not all of it. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left, but I assume none will be used. Now a fake handoff. Screen pass completed over on the left, and dodges a couple of tackles. Gets the first down and more. Finally knocked out of bounds around the 47 or 48. Who had that reception? Wiley. Okay, so Wiley on that reception there. They give him credit for 13 yards. So now two receivers to each side. Hand off to McCullough. He weaves his way through a few defenders and picks up about 4 or 5. 2:48. .234 to go in, counting. Ben Davis 50, Avon 24. Orioles had the lead, early in the second quarter, then collapsed. And now hand off to McCullough again. He's got the first down and maybe a yard. He breaks. He drags a few defenders with him and ends up getting about 15 yards out of it. 1:58 to go now. How many yards did he get on that one? Let's see.
47 to 36.
Okay. So an 11-yard pickup for McCullough. I have him 6 for 24 now. So Ben Davis now with 2 receivers to each side. McCullough, the running back. Swanson having overall an outstanding game in shotgun. Gives it to McCullough again. They're ready for him, but he breaks through a couple of defenders and gets up for 3 or 4. 1:20 to go. So Titus McCullough becoming the go-to guy late in the game for the Giants. Gets 3 on that one. .104 to go now. So, if you're a Giants fan, you got to feel a lot better now than you did about 14 hours ago. It shows that there's still a lot of talent in this program to build around, even though the varsity team's going through a little bit of a downstretch right now, off to an 0-2 start. And now they give it to McCullough again, and he's almost brought down for a loss. He finally weaves his way up forward a couple of yards. I think he's still going to have a 1-yard loss, but it could have been a lot worse, and that will likely be the last play of the game. 28 seconds to go. The Giants, do not have to run another play. So the Giants getting a much-deserved enthusiastic ovation from their few fans who showed up today. Only about 30 or so did on this Labor Day weekend. And yes, that's the game. They're letting the clock run out. So your final score here tonight this morning and this afternoon at Avon, Ben Davis 50, Avon 24. We'll be back with a recap and a preview to next week after these final words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954, providing home, business, hospital, and funeral home deliveries of outstanding fresh arrangements and plants throughout the greater Indianapolis area, including Avon. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit any of McNamara Florist's 7 convenient locations for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. Also, think of McNamara Florist to provide your floral needs for weddings, school proms, home parties, or corporate functions. Contact a sales representative for McNamara Florist at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. or visit their website at McNamaraFlorist.com. That's McNamaraFlorist.com. State Bank of Liston has 11 locations in and around Hendricks County. Their 24-hour banking phone number is 317-994-5181. That's 317-994-5181. More information concerning hours, location, and career opportunities can be found at statebankofliston.com. That's statebankofliston.com, and Liston is spelled Lizton. Well, back here at Avon for a final time today, where your Avon Orioles have continued Labor Day weekend on a disappointing note, losing to the visiting Ben Davis Giants by a score of 50-24. Ben Davis actually getting a slightly bigger margin of victory, 26 points, than we got in the varsity game last night, which was 24. It was a game that started off as a back-and-forth duel before a wild momentum shift at the beginning of the second quarter tilted the game heavily into Ben Davis's favor, and while Avon did play better on offense in the second half, it was too late by that point. First, for the scoring recap, with 3:37 to go in the first quarter, J.D. Sherrod opened the scoring on a 27-yard rush. The conversion failed, making the score 6-0. However, it only took Ben Davis 43 seconds to strike back. It was also on a quarterback keeper by Juwan Swanson. He rushed 46 yards for the score, and Devin Riley scored the 2-point conversion, making it 8-6, giving Ben Davis their first lead. However, on the first play of the ensuing drive, with 2:34 to go, Sherrod struck Anthony Kennedy 68 yards for the touchdown. The conversion again failed, making the score 26 to making the score 12-8. And then things began falling apart for the Orioles early in the second quarter. While leading 12-8, they were attempting a punt inside the end zone. It was blocked, and Reese Hardesty recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. And the Swanson ran in the 2-point conversion, making the score 16-12, and that gave Avon the lead for good. And then they seized firm control of the game with two long touchdown passes later in the quarter. With 4:56 to go, Swanson connected 73 yards to Cade Thompson for the 2-point conversion. Swanson connected 73 yards to Thompson for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good, making it 24-12, and then just a minute and 5 seconds later, Swanson connected 58 yards to Adrian Peters. This time the 2-point conversion failed, but Ben Davis nevertheless had by that point, a commanding 30-12 lead, and they came out on their first possession of the second quarter, on the second half, and scored again on this time on a 47-yard pass from Swanson to Thompson. The conversion failed, making the score 36-12. Now, on the first play of the ensuing drive, Avon threatened to get back in the game with Sherrod throwing a 58-yard touchdown pass to Timmy in Wellington. The conversion failed, making the score 36-18. However, Ben Davis broke Avon's momentum by consuming 8 minutes and 11 seconds on their ensuing drive, finally scoring on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Swanson to Malik Agbosasa, and the conversion failed, making it 42-18. And then they added another touchdown on their next possession when Devin Riley rushed in 20 yards and then rushed in his own 2-point conversion, making it 50-18. And finally, Avon, on their next possession, scored on a 47-yard pass from Sherrod to Andrew Papa, and the conversion failed, bringing us to our final score of 50-24. Look at the individual statistics first of all for Avon. J.D. Sherrod completed only 3 of 12 passes, but they did go for 173 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Receiving, Anthony Kennedy had 1 reception for 68 yards and a touchdown. Timian Wellington had 1 for 58 and a touchdown, and Andrew Papa had 1 for 47 and a touchdown. On the ground, Ethan Lathery led the way with 8 rushes for 39 yards. J.D. Sherrod had 10 for 8 and a touchdown. Anthony Kennedy had 1 for 10. Blake Fincher had 4 for 11. Larry Stone had 1 for 12, and Carson Holmer had 1 for -10. For Ben Davis, player of the game, undoubtedly Juwan Swanson, who completed 12 of 21 passes for 281 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Making it more impressive is that he completed his 12 passes to 7 different receivers, led by Caden Thompson, who had 2 receptions for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Peters had 1 reception for 58 yards and 1 touchdown. Malik Agbosasa had 1 reception for 8 yards and a touchdown. In addition, Mason Donnell had 1 for 41. Rylan Richardson had 2 for 25. Brady Simmons had 2 for 15, and Devin Riley had 3 for 14. On the ground, Juwan Swanson also was the team's leading rusher with 5 rushes for 64 yards and a touchdown. In addition, Devin Riley had 4 for 35 and a touchdown. Titus McCullough had 8 for 26. Eric Smith had 1 for 13, and Omarion Smith had 10 for 11. So in conclusion, this is a game in which Avon got off to a great start. The blocked punt, changed the momentum, obviously. And, there were still, I think the thing is, aside from the blocked punt, in the second quarter, Avon just didn't move the ball well. And if they'd even gotten 1 touchdown there, I think they would have been right in the thick of things in the second half. But it was when Ben Davis just followed up the blocked punt with the 2 touchdowns that really put Avon in a desperate situation. And even so, they on 2 of their 3 second-half possessions, they scored in touchdown drives of less than 2 minutes each. It's just that, they only got the ball 3 times. And Ben Davis brilliantly milked the clock like a cow, consuming 8 minutes and 11 seconds on the ensuing drive after Avon had gotten its first score of the second half. I mean, and keep in mind, these are 10-minute quarters, so Avon actually, Ben Davis actually consumed more than a fifth of the game on that drive. That was incredible ball control by Ben Davis to help them seal the win. So anyway, disappointing loss, disappointing follow-up to last night. But, these are kids, that obviously Ben Davis, has been a perennial power for about 40 years now, 9-time state champion. The varsity team's going through a down stretch right now, but I'll tell you, seeing how deep this JV team is, I think a lot of these guys are going to move up to the varsity this year, and that Ben Davis is going to be a top 10 team here. Well, they entered last night's game ranked number 10. I think they're going to be a top 5 state championship contending team. Probably not this year, but probably in a year or two. And that's going to make Ben Davis Avon continue to be one of the great rivalries in Indiana sports. So, hopefully the kids will shake this off, realize that the program's in good shape. But also, there's one trying to get something good out of this loss. It is a reminder that while Avon has become a marquee program, you have to keep working at it to, stay on top. It's not like you get there and then you go in cruise control. You have to keep the eye of the tiger every step of the way. So, in this JV game, hopefully, it's a wake-up call to the kids to realize that you just have to not only bring your A game, but you just have to stay focused every play. Because here, in Indiana high school football, it's so competitive, and you just have to always be ready for what your opponent throws at you. And if you let down your guard, for a tenth of a second, it can come back to haunt you. So, and there's still a lot of good to take out of this game, especially on offense. But, so hopefully, we'll just take the good from this game, learn from the bad, and, use it to, keep building these guys up and getting them ready to play varsity ball, some of them later this year and then others over the next year or two or three. So, anyway, again, we wish we had done better today. Wish we had gotten the clean sweep over the Giants, but we did beat them very badly last night when it counted most. So still a lot to feel good about, and this is going to be a state championship contending team, this year and next year, I believe. And I think also, working these young JV kids and freshman kids, working in practice every day with the varsity kids, that's going to help build them up a lot and get them ready, for when, when it's their turn to play varsity ball. But anyway, let's take a look at what's ahead. Avon returns to action next Friday. They'll still be on the road up in the lovely community of Fishers, not at Fishers High School. We'll be there later in the year. But next week it will be to play the Hamilton Southeastern Royals as we begin Hoosier Crossroads Conference play. Hamilton Southeastern entered this game tied for number 10 in Class 6A. Last night we beat, another one of those teams tied for 10th place, Ben Davis. So hopefully we'll follow suit next week. Although Ben Davis probably, Hamilton Southeastern probably will be a little lower in the ratings. After a 24-20 win over North Central in Week 1, the Royals fell 17-16 last night to North Central in one of several Hoosier Crossroads Conference versus Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference games that we've seen pop up these last few years since the two conferences contracted, opening up the doors for some non-conference games. So I hope you all will get out there. Hamilton Southeastern's 1-1. They have a great tradition. They won a Class 1A state championship back in, I believe, 1980. Since then, the population in Fishers has exploded from 2,000 to right around 100,000 now. So much that not only did Hamilton Southeastern become a 6A school, but that the school district was split into two. And there are now two 6A schools in Fishers. There's Hamilton Southeastern High School and then Fishers High School. So, and Hamilton County is a real mecca of high school sports there with Carmel, Noblesville, Hamilton Heights, Sheridan, a big lower division power, and then of course Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers. So anyway, if you all do decide to go to the game, which hopefully you will, I advise you to leave no later than 3:30. Leave at 3 if possible, and the best way to get up there is not to take 465 all the way around, but rather to cut across on Fall Creek Parkway. And so anyway, hope you all will get out there and support the kids. And that will be so they'll be starting the regular season with 3 games on the road for the varsity team. Obviously, the JV team played here today, but of course the varsity kids opened at Lucas Oil Stadium last week, then at Ben Davis last week. We got about 600 or 700 fans out there, which is a great road to turn out, especially for Labor Day weekend when a lot of people are out of town. And so hopefully we'll get several hundred more fans out at Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers next Friday and cheer the kids on to what should be a 3-0 start. And then definitely, you got to pack up the house a week from Friday for the home opener against Brownsburg, which currently that's a number 2 versus number 3 team in the state. Who knows where we'll be ranked then? But it's just so exciting that right now this week 2 of the top 3 teams in the state are here in Hendricks County. Hopefully it'll keep up that way, all year and lead to a big sectional showdown, and that hopefully Avon will win like we did last year, and that this year we'll go even further in the state tournament. Avon clearly is now a marquee program. The only thing missing from our resume is that state championship. Maybe it'll be this year or next year, and so get out there and show the kids that you believe in them and you're behind them, and just help them stay focused every step of the way. Just one play, one game at a time as they try to keep getting better every week and building their momentum. and, are realizing their potential, which is vast. So once again, your final score here this afternoon at Avon, Ben Davis 50, Avon 24. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to tune in next Friday night at 6:45 for the pregame show as your Avon Orioles, currently ranked number 3 in the state, travel to Fishers to play the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, currently ranked number 10 in the state, in Week 3 of the varsity season. Until we meet again, for audiosportsonline.com, this is Lec Zorn saying have a great Labor Day weekend, and reminding you, there is a difference only you can make.